Whoa. I grew up on the Tequesquite Ranch, 100 miles southeast of here. Oh yes, lots of memories. One of the spots was what we call Sunrise Point, and it's up on a mesa, and I used to check the bulls every day, and I'd have to ride up there about 5 miles from the headquarters house, and on a clear day you could see the Rock Island train at Logan, 85 miles that way. My mother died when I was 4 years old and left 2 younger siblings, and my dad was a widower, and he was an amazing person. You probably know something about him, and he was an amazing person in an era that children were to be seen but not heard, and he used to take us with him when to the Denver Stock Show, to Amarillo when the Quarter Horse Association started and things like that. I never saw him blow his cool, I'll put it that way. He was an amazing, he was a very diplomatic person, and they lured him back to be president again of the American Quarter Horse Association after he'd already served. My dad was one of the founders of the National Cowboy Museum, and it was, the 17 western states governors got together in January of '56 in Denver, stock show, and all 17 governors came with a rancher from each of the 7. And they got together and started the idea of the National Cowboy Museum. And after my dad passed away, my brother was on the board of the National Cowboy Museum. And then after my brother's death, they asked me in 1988 if I'd go on the board. I've always enjoyed art. Bronzes, certain bronzes I really like, and so I have some nice bronzes, and I enjoy the art that we have, and sort of was part of my growing up and part of my education. Les and I married. My husband was a Second World War veteran. Well, I met him in 1941. His uncle and my dad were very good friends, and his uncle was running the CS Ranch at that point. Brother and I got the cattle together that my dad wanted to show him, and he said, well, Ed's bringing down his nephew, and he said he just graduated from Dartmouth, and Ed wants him to see the Tequesquite Ranch. And so he said, I want you to get these. He told me 3 different herds of registered cattle to get together and get the remuda in to the corral. And then I fixed lunch, and I had spaghetti and meatballs, mind you, and I thought it was pretty impressive, somebody 11 years old getting dinner on. At any rate, Les doesn't remember that. He remembers visiting with my dad and all. So Les was only here for six months before he left for the service, and he didn't get back here until early spring of 1947. But he remembers the first time he saw me when I got back. So my husband told his dad, he said, I'm not going back to medical school. He said, I'm going to go back. He said, all I could think about as I went across Europe in a tank was, I want to get back to Cimarron, to the ranch. And so we were the first couple to have children and live here, and the house has grown. I raised 6 kids, and I've had a lot of their very good friends that have come and been here on the ranch, and I've had young people around, and I have been completely involved in the ranch. Well, I'm delighted that they have all inherited a love for it. They really have.